Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm going to use Art Nouveau Tarot by Matt Myers. Supportive Oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. There's a lot of energy already, so I'm wondering. I want to say the moon's in. It's either in Sagittarius or it's going to be very soon. Like it should happen. I could be wrong. I think either it happened yesterday or it's going to happen today. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling that like Sagittarius energy. In the sense of like things are just kind of going. Which is weird. I don't usually pull into that when I'm doing readings, but I have a feeling that might be affecting you guys. If you're watching this at some other time in the year, don't worry about it. This reading is coming to you when it should. But that's, like, I'm getting this go energy. Like, this just almost like autopilot. Go. Just that's what we got to do. That's what we got to keep doing. All right, let's get into this. All this, there's a lot. Going into this situation, you got the Four of Wands with the Temperance. You're also starting off with hunger. Pisces started off with hunger as well. The thing is, you got resistance, hunger, and peace. You got a lot coming in here just to start the situation off. Working with people, trying to work things out, trying to do the right thing. You're resisting, like you're not going to let somebody push you around. You're not going to let the wrong thing happen. What do we mean by that? Like you're not going to let somebody just have their way because they're being difficult. But like it feels like you got peace with it. Like so peaceful resistance is almost like if somebody's becoming a problem, you might just separate yourself off from them or separate them away from the situation. It's kind of like if they're going to have an issue, they need to go work that out themselves. For right now, we got other things going on and we can't be doing this temper tantrum thing. The hunger is with it too. That's the one right here. What I'm getting with that is like it's all going very slowly. It's all trying to work it out peacefully. Certain people, right off the bat, were having a difficult time and being a little bit difficult, but you were stepping back from it, and you're like, at the very least, even if you were stuck with them and you couldn't get away from them, you wouldn't participate. You're like, I'm resisting in the sense of like, I'm not going to play into it. I'm not going to engage with it because I don't want to make it worse. Temperance is like, taking your time with it. Also, whoever this was, you're kind of like, they'll calm down. I just got to give them a chance to calm down. And if I just don't respond or don't react, they'll calm down. And when they've calmed down, we can deal with it. There's a lot of energy with that. Now, things do turn around. It's almost like you're doing really well, and then boom, things flip. Why are things flipping? Because I'm getting the Fear card on your side. So something, like you were doing really, really well, like you're up here, you're doing really, really well, now boom, things flip on you. But what flipped? In the environment, I'm getting realization, growth, in the Chariot. It went too fast. Something went too fast and it made you uncomfortable. Because it's kind of like, I don't mind helping, I don't mind being a part of this, but I don't understand what's going on. It's like somebody ran up to your house, threw you in the car, and drove down the street, and you're just like, I don't even know how I got in the car, let alone why I'm in the car. Where are we going? What's going on? Like this, that's scary. Because I feel like it's almost like somebody you love, somebody you care about, driving up to your house really quick, yelling at you to get in the car. You get in the car, and all of a sudden you're flying down the road, and you're just like, I don't even understand why I'm here, let alone what's going on. Because I feel like that, especially with the Chariot, something happened really fast. And it doesn't have to be that literal explanation, but something was like that. It's just like something showed up, all of a sudden started happening, and you're just kind of like, I don't even understand why. I don't get it. The people around you do, somebody around you does, that's realization. The growth is improving things, making things better, but the Chariot is like it's taking off, like hitting the beach running, like it's like boom. This is somebody else hitting the beach running, and then grabbing your arm and pulling you along with them, and you're just like, what, why, what, who? Being dragged right down the beach, and you're just like, I don't understand why we're doing this. Extremes is telling me this is a very extreme moment. Like, I know it may sound like a very dramatic way to explain that, but literally this is the card I'm getting, so it kind of fits for this reading if this reading is hitting with you. it was too much. Like literally, there's the fear card I was telling you. It was throwing you off. That's not a good feeling, and I feel like it scared the crap out of you. Is this good, bad, or indifferent? I feel like there's a lot of mystery. Even when information is coming to you, there's something weird about it. Now, this is a card, it's the Three of Wands, right? This is something where I personally think each deck has its own way, and some decks have differences about how they explain the energy. Now, being the Three of Wands, which I keep looking at it, and I'm like, are we sure it's the Wands? But yeah, it's Wands. Because it doesn't really look like a travel card to me, because it looks very like two people sitting and somebody approaching them. And when I'm feeling this card, it's like there's some things here that we like and some things here that we don't like. But I'm also getting like when this person shows up, it's like somebody from out of town that you care about, that's like maybe a relative, showing up, needing a place to stay, and you're like, I do like it when they're around, but I like it better when you let me know you're coming, because this is throwing off a lot of my plans. So it's like you like having them around, you're willing to let them have a place to stay, but you're just kind of like, the way it's happening, you're just kind of like, I have a lot going on tonight, and now you're just showing up, and okay, I guess we're going to do that. So it's like things we like here, things we don't. Whatever happened here, it's kind of like, the way this is going down, I don't know what to do with it. I'm also getting like, because the Page of Swords is backing it up, there's a lot of like communication or thought or maybe something going on here where we don't like how it looks. This may be a moment that very much aggravates you and upsets you, but then again, you're coming off of that fear moment. Like somebody like very dramatically pushed you into something, you got dragged into something, and you're just kind of like, you're not happy about it. Not everything is bad here, but your emotions need a moment to settle, and you're upset. You're just kind of like, why did you do that to me? Why couldn't you be more civilized? Like, why couldn't you give me a heads up that you were coming? Why did you have to do this way to me? Like, it's kind of like, I don't mind being a part of this, but I don't like the way you did it to me. That's the energy I'm feeling with that. It's the Ten of Swords. Yes, it is a devastation card, true. But the way, it's more about the feeling, kind of like, why did you do that to me that way? Why couldn't you be nicer to me? Like, why couldn't you give me a heads up? Kind of like it was overdramatic and unnecessary. It's kind of how I'm feeling. Like, I want to yell at somebody. Kind of like, that was overdramatic and unnecessary. You upset me. You made me feel bad. And now I'm unhappy with you. But it's not comical. It's like, I'm really mad. Like, it's like, that's not okay. In the environment, we got the Six of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Emperor, and the Nine of Swords. This is going to go into some better energy in a moment. But at first, it's kind of like, they're trying to appease you, but they're also kind of like, oh, you would have been upset anyway, so what? Like, it's kind of like, when people say, I hate this, because this is one of my peeves in life. When somebody, this is kind of like when somebody gives an apology, but then that apology is like, I'm sorry you feel that way. In my book, that's not really an apology. That's a cop-out. That's kind of like, you're not sorry, but you feel like you have to say this, so you're just checking the box. Technically, I said sorry. Like, I'm sorry you feel that way, that's not good. That's really, that does not come off, that does not make the person you're saying it to feel better. Like, you're basically blaming them for being upset with you. Like, I know, because people have argued with me on that, and I'm not going to go there. I just don't feel that way. I'm just like, when you tell somebody, I'm sorry you feel that way, you're not apologizing. You're just basically blaming them for feeling the way they do. That's not an apology. You should just not apologize, I'm just saying. But that's what the energy is you're getting coming towards you. Kind of like, I'm sorry you feel that way. Like, that's a cop-out. That's just really, I get bent out of shape about that one. Because, like, when it's said to me, I'm just kind of like, so you're sorry that I have flaws and you're saying I have flaws. That it's not really something you should be sorry about. It's my interpretation of it that makes it a problem. Like, I really don't like that. See? Peeve. Told you. The Five of Swords here, or the Six of Cups, like, they're giving in to you, but they're like, what good is it? Like, well, all right, I'll try to appease you. I'm sorry you feel that way. Like, I feel like that's what's happening. The Emperor's coming in with the Nine of Swords. Because, like, that, I feel like that moment's happening, and you're just kind of like. Personally, I get offended when somebody says that to me. I'm just like, oh, so you really want to argue about this? Okay, because that's not gonna work. The Emperor comes in with the Nine of Swords. That's like kind of like it's either denial or stress. It can go a few different ways because this card, the way it depicts it, like somebody holding onto their knife and just not willing to talk to the other person, that's a denial version. Other people, sometimes these cards, the Nine of Swords, can be like a very stressful, like in pain, emotional pain type feel. The Emperor here is kind of trying, don't get caught up in the gender, but it could be kind of like trying to get the situation to move forward and trying to really understand like what's the problem, what's really wrong here. It's gonna take a minute, but I feel like they finally like realize like that didn't need to happen that way. Like if you were gonna obviously have the same reaction either way, they could have done it the nicer way. Like really, if that's how this is coming off, if that's what they really think, whether they did it the hard way or the easy way, you would have had the same reaction. There's no reason they couldn't have done it the nice way. There's no reason they couldn't have. And I feel like it's coming to the realization, like the way they did it, the extremes that came in, that was unwarranted. It does feel unwarranted. They got the Three of Cups with the King of Cups. Other people, this might be influencing the Emperor very much, by the way, because I'm feeling other people coming forward and talking about, like, you know, talking to your point, empathizing with how you feel about it, empathizing with like the emotional upset that was pushed on you and how that's not, other people are agreeing with you, like that didn't need to happen that way. Even if the situation was going to happen left or right, didn't matter. There's no reason that couldn't have been done with more care. And I feel like there's other people like saying, hey, you know, don't do that to the Cancer. That's not right. Other people might also be in the same boat, by the way. You might not be the only person that was dragged down the street. Other people might have also been in that same car, for example. And they're like, yeah, me too. I didn't like that either. No, I don't think that was right. Like, the same energy. This is going to get better. It's going from the void to abundance. So it's kind of like, oh, why is it rough? It is rough right here, though. Like, it goes from void to abundance. Like, it goes really good, but what gets it there? Is this the 6? It's the 7 of Wands. Okay, so it's persevering over adversity. So yeah, you know, people pushed. I feel like boundaries were crossed, lines were crossed. You're redefining boundaries. Other people are helping you redefine these boundaries. You're overcoming this adversity. That's taking this from the void into the abundance. Like, it's improving the situation. Whoever did what they did, it's becoming quite obvious that if they ever plan on doing that again, it's not going to go well. Like, kind of like, we're not going to go for that again. The energy shifts over your way in a positive way. Oh, wow, I guess so. You got the Empress card, which don't get caught up in the gender, whoever you are. It just means you have a very big heart. You care for who's involved. You look out for people who are involved. When this card is properly balanced, you care for yourself as much as you care for others. You realize, I have to make sure that I'm healthy and well to help other people stay healthy and well. You got the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. Did you have the fire? That's interesting. I think it was Pisces had the fire-earth balance too, but theirs was in the environment, so that's interesting. You got a lot of action coming forward and the need to move forward very quickly, yet the restraint to, like, I don't want to just run forward and have a rickety situation. I want to get things done. I want to go fast. I want to, but I need things to be stable. I need things to last. So you've got a lot of drive to move forward, but you have a lot of restraint, kind of like, no, this has to go well. This has to go correctly. That's also the Empress energy pulling in with that too. The drive to, like, we got to fix this. We got to fix this now. But also they're like, yes, and I want to, but I need to go a little slower because I need to it needs to stick. It needs to last. You're doing very well with this, by the way. There's a little bit of an internal conflict, but I feel like you're going to be all right with it. The Priestess with the Devil, and they're not seeing eye to eye or in the environment. You might have to make the situation go better, you might be dealing with almost like opposing forces. Like one side is kind of like, everything's not perfect. We got to do the best we can with things. We got to kind of move things forward. If we need to move things forward a little faster if we can, but if we can't, then we can't. When I feel the priestess, I feel like the reason this is popping out here is because in my view, the way I typically read these two, the Empress and the Priestess are like really good companions. That's not the Priestess, that's the devil. The Empress and the Priestess are really good companions. But the thing is, the devil is going to try to warm up to you, and I think that's why we popped in here. Okay, let me be also fair. The devil is also the card that depicts Capricorn energy. It's just like it just says Capricorn. It's Capricorn. It just lets you know Capricorn is around. Like kind of like the Emperor is Aries. I think Aries anyway. Usually, I don't usually go that route with that one, but I think it's technically Aries. The point is, it's not to mean that this is like a bad person. It could mean that this is somebody who has similar views to you, but does not do it the same way. There could be like a point of contention because Capricorn and Cancer, stereotypically, on like in astrology terms, the way I learned it, the two, like they have very strong home values, but they each want to do it their way, and they can slowly drive each other nuts because they won't give up, and they'll just keep one-upping each other. They have very similar values, but they just differ just enough to drive each other nuts. So just keep that in mind, because even though it's the devil card, I feel like there's a purpose to this energy. This energy helps progression. This energy helps things get better. There's also another person next to them who's helping you make this better. So it's almost like a mediator between you and the devil card. Let that person help you both. Because what I'm getting is like things are going to get better. That's working together. I'm getting the Eight of Pentacles working together. That's how it feels in this deck. The Three of Pentacles is that work is going to lead to success, especially the way that person is holding up that pentacle, like we are going to make this work. And then the last card is the Priest card, which ironically is the companion card to the Priestess, obviously, in this deck anyway. Which is telling me things are going to come better, come together better, things are going to heal. There's going to be a lot of rules and parameters we got to make sure to stay in focus and stay in check. But for this situation, it does seem like what you're dealing with, it does seem like that needs to happen. That's how I view it when I'm feeling it here. The Void, no, this is not Void, this is Darkness. Now the Darkness card is the next card after Void. This is where you're ending up. Now you might notice between the two, when you got Darkness here, there's no light around the moon. When you got Void here, there's no darkness around, there's no light around the moon. When you have Darkness, there is light around the moon. So it's saying darkness is like mostly dark, but the light is starting to show. You can see shadows. This is going to improve things. This is going to be a start to making things better. You're making it go slow and steady. You know it has to go slow and steady. I actually feel like the Devil card is very complementary to slow and steady. We just want to make sure it doesn't go slow and stagnant. You know what I mean? We don't want to go slow, 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 and then stagnate. That's what I'm worried about. Keep an eye out for that. We don't want to go slow and stagnant. That's what I mean by slow and stagnant. It only gets so far, then that's as far as we're going. I'm done. No more. We'll keep it here. We don't want to do that. We want to keep progressing, so you want to keep it on the slow and steady progression. I think I'm going to talk it to death if I keep going, so I think we're good. All right, we're going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.